12 ounces.
Oh,
you'll see.
you'll see.
Are
We don't even want this.
Are we live?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're live. Hold on, I gotta put Auntie's banner up here for her.
This is not a gay butter cookie mix. Protein mix color.
Oh, I just heard that. Buddy cooker mix.
buddy cookie.
Buddy cookie.
There we go.
Butter cookie.
Buddy cookie protein mixy. Coming soon.
Mix it. What?
You got MXI.
Why it do me like that? I when I hit enter, it switches around the last second.
And it still got mixy.
It's still doing it. I hit edit. I just see this is okay. We're gonna see now. No, it's not changing. That's weird. It don't want me to be great. How are you?
Buddy cookie. Mixy.
Right. Maybe I gotta hit. Oh, save. There we go. There we go.
Okay.
Hilarious. Hilarious. Oh my gosh, just the smell of this beer. I'm like, no.
You got yours there. Eh?
Yes, sir. I have mine. He poured mine and he's about to log in now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, Black Freddy. Okay.
All right, what's happening?
Yeah. Y'all ready for the beer?
Yeah, Grandpa, what you got today?
Oh, I got an old friend.
Uh-oh.
And I forgot my old friend till I was in the store the other day looking for a beer. And what do I see? Somebody I hadn't seen in a long time. Moosehead.
Wow.
Moosehead. Okay.
Haven't seen that in a long time.
I got that out of my memory. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But anyway, I think I'm going to open it here. But I think this is going to be at least a 6.5 here. And it was a good beer. And I just getting old and memory getting bad, you know.
Yeah, okay. You probably don't remember that 4.
What 4?
It's actually a 4, not a 6.5.
Oh, no. This is a 6.5. Yeah.
Okay.
You know why? Because I bought a 6-pack.
I hope so.
All right.
Well, and that first one tastes like a 6.5.
You're giving it 6.5. Okay. What you guys? What you guys got? I know you guys are sharing a beer.
Moosehead. That's what I'm thinking. All right. Let's move on.
Yeah, we're sharing a 12 ounce of Dogfish Head 120 IPA.
Okay.
The signal. This is by Dogfish Head, the brewery. Mm-hmm. The signal that you got a good one is the lime green top. If you see that lime green top, got that little caution up there. It's probably delicious. Like I would err on the side of delicious. You can see the color.
So do they have different tops for the same beer?
No, for the same brewery, but different.
Yeah, same brewery, but they're really special beer. They put these lime green tops on them.
Oh, okay.
It's only like a handful of them. It's not a whole bunch of them. You're going to see the Dogfish Head 120 the most. You'll probably see a 60-minute IPA, a 90-minute IPA, and then this is the 120. But this one is like $10, $11 a 12 ounce. But it starts at like 18% alcohol. That's why we're sharing the 12 ounce.
Grandpa's like, you can get 12 beers for that one beer.
And it all have the same ABV when you add those 12 beers.
That's true. I got what y'all gonna what y'all rating?
$12?
Yeah, about $12. Yeah, we spent about $120 in these. We bought 4 different ones, but over the weekend it was pretty amazing actually. But this is amazing. I'm gonna start with a 9.
Okay, that's pretty high. Grandpa's about to jump out of his chair.
You think I got it upside down?
I'm about to say Jehoshaphat.
Are you drinking a lager or ale?
It's an ale.
It's an L?
It's an Ale.
Okay.
It's an IPA.
It's an Ale.
Oh, Indian Pale Ale. Yeah.
I got this thing called So Happens. It's Tuesday, even though today is Wednesday. It's an Imperial Stout.
It's from the brewery. The brewery is good.
Oh, what's the ABV?
Ooh, 15.
Chris, that's the one that used to come in the big champagne bottle.
Yeah,
that's gonna be pretty good.
That's good, nephew.
It says on the can, our signature Black Tuesday Stout is named in remembrance of the great stock market crash of 1929. So It Happens Tuesday is a similarly bold yet more approachable barrel-aged imperial stout, rich with notes of chocolate and oak.
That's a beer right there.
This is the second beer that tells you what temperature to serve it at that I've had. So I'm on a streak right now.
Yeah,
it's
sometimes
canned.
they have the bottle on there.
It was brewed and canned in Placentia, California.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You have a glass, right?
Yeah, I got a glass. Okay. Get it with that pour.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like it's pouring slow. That's interesting.
Because it's half alcohol, 15%.
You may want to share that, nephew.
Yeah,
I didn't even know this is going to last the rest of the day. I'm not chugging this.
You better not.
Yeah, you better not. It's probably real drinkable though.
Based on its smell, it does have a coffee smell to it. Actually, you know what? It smells like? It smells like after you cut brownies out of a cooking pan. In the bottom of the pan, it kind of has this glaze with the brownie chocolate on it.
Who sniffs the bottom of the brownie pan?
That boy,
like there's crumbs and stuff. Like
I don't sniff the brownie crumbs in the pan.
Well, excuse me for being, I'm not wasting brownies, okay? Y'all can waste the brownie leavings if you want to.
I'm not gonna waste them. I'm gonna eat them, but I don't sniff the pan.
If you're smelling a confectionery good, y'all not gonna make me feel bad about it, all right?
You're not gonna shame me for paying sniff.
This isn't even the worst thing I've ever said in my life, so y'all can slow down.
Very true.
But it does have like a very chocolatey smell, like a very chocolatey smell, not like a bitter chocolate smell, but like I said, it smells kind of like a cooked brownie.
Like the bottom of the brownie pan.
What's your pre-ranking, Chris? You didn't get one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 8.75.
8.75.
Yes, sir.
What did it go with?
What'd you say, Pops?
What did Freddie go with?
A 9.
I got a 9.
Oh, you right behind. Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to accidentally taste it first, but I'm gonna give it a 7.5. It tastes good.
You taste it out the can. Taste it out that glass.
All right, let me taste it.
All right, well, cheers.
Yeah.
So wait a minute, I gotta make sure the glass.
You have to have me a glass.
Properly
If it's a glass bottle, that'd be the same thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you got you a glass bottle.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely it does taste a lot like fudge. It tastes a lot like fudge. So, like I said, I'm not drinking this fast. This is probably gonna be a lot the rest of the day.
It went up to a 7.
Oh, holy!
It was a 7.
Where's the horn sounds? Grandpa ain't never. I don't think Grandpa's ever. No, he's given stuff higher than a 7 before, but not like stuff.
What is he giving us higher?
St. Pauli's girl. He gave that a 10. Perfect beer.
Perfect beer. St. Pauli's girl.
And Stroh's, as Grandpa used. Remember during one of the first episodes of the first season of this show, Grandpa was like, "Yeah, I kept the Stroh's company afloat." There we go. There we go.
Yeah, I was very loyal to Stroh's.
I gotta take you down to Grandpa. I gotta take you down to Hopcat. I'm taking some time off during the week of Thanksgiving, so I might maybe one day we might go out to lunch Tuesday or something, and I'll take you out to Hopcat, Grandpa. How does that sound?
What's Hopcat?
It's a bar.
A lot of beer.
We weren't there before, were we?
No, you've never been to this place.
But you took me to the Detroit brewery?
Yeah, I took you to the place where they brewed Stroh's beer.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I've said this before, but yeah, the brewmaster came down. They gave Grandpa his own personal, like, it was a case of beer and everything. Showed him around the facility. It was really nice.
Pops is the star.
Yeah, that was
Everywhere you go.
I was remember you said you told him it was my birthday, didn't you?
I told him whatever I needed to tell him to make sure you saw what you need to see.
I made it work.
How old was I then?
Oh shoot, you were 89 maybe. This was before the
I know it was a couple
pandemic.
years ago, but 89.
Yeah,
okay.
Wait, when did we start doing this show? So you had
2019.
Maybe you were 90, but it was definitely a ways before the pandemic happened.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know.
But yeah, I was. You know what? That might have been your birthday. You know what? Because I was like, I got to take you to a bar for your birthday. And we went there, and it was a good time.
Yeah.
And it was wild. They weren't even open yet. They just let us in.
Oh.
They know 90 when they see it. They ready to recognize. They open up.
Yeah.
I think we tried, like, because they had different types of strohs there too. I think we tried every different type of strohs.
We did.
Yeah, it was different.
All I know is
we were there for like 2 hours.
All I know is we were well treated. They treated us very nice, you know.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
And on top of that, not only did the guy give us some beer, but we didn't have to pay for the beer we drank. Remember?
We did not. It was.
It definitely tastes better that way.
Yeah.
The whole experience was nice.
Yeah, we were very nice.
I gotta remember. I think you're right, Grandpa. I think it was called Detroit Brewing Company. If you got when you guys come in town, we should take you guys there because Grandpa was telling the truth. They were very nice people.
Yeah, they were.
They were really cool.
Okay.
But let's get into today's topic. So we're doing Kenya today. I know Grandpa was very excited talking about burning spear. So Grandpa, why don't you start off and give us a little bit about that?
No, you know, on these documentaries, I knew I remember a few things, but on this documentary, names start to mean something. Name, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know that Jomo Kenyatta, he stayed in the United Kingdom for a while he was, I guess, going to school.
Mm-hmm.
And he was married to a Caucasian one time, you know, which I didn't know. But anyway, before he died, he had his whole family, you know, over in Kenya. You know, they had this big family reunion. You know, I think a couple of days later, I believe he died after that. But anyway, he had, I think he might have had 2 or 3 wives. You know. What you say?
No, we didn't say anything.
Oh, you hear RD in the background.
That was the background. Yeah. But anyway, I just recall a few things. I remember when Jomo Kenyatta hit the scene and he was fighting for the liberation of Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
And they were calling him a terrorist because he belonged to, he said he didn't, but they accused him of belonging to a group of people called the Marmals, you know, and they were in opposition to the British rule, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I think they charged him, I believe, for belonging to a group that's trying to overthrow the government. And I think they gave him 7 years. I don't know whether he spent 7 years in jail, but they give him 7 years, you know. But anyway, he was the first. He liberated. He was another Juan Nkrumah, because there was independence flowing all over Africa at the time, you know. And he liberated Kenya, you know. But they called him Burning Spear, Jomo Kenyatta, because the opposition, they meant business, you know. So they was doing their thing. So were the British, you know. They weren't taking no prisoners, you know.
What, you know why they called him Burning Spear?
That's what I was trying to find. Go ahead, bro.
You found it?
No, I'm trying to find it.
So they said the word Jomo
they called him Burning Spear was because of him belonging to the Marmal.
Well, it says that his name Jomo, the name Jomo itself means burning spear.
Oh, that's what. Okay, Jomo means burning spear.
In
Okay,
the
I never knew.
Kikuyu
You know.
language.
Oh, okay.
That's a cool name, man.
Burning spear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
And the
I'm
group
glad
Burning
to hear
Spear
that.
is named after that.
I didn't really know. You know, all I know was Jomo Kenyatta. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
But then they were talking too about Jomo. They were saying that he was accused.
I'm having trouble understanding right now.
He was accused of a lot of things, including a lot of stuff was done under his name. But at that age, when he got around about the year of maybe 1969 or 70, he was beginning to, get a little senile, And a lot of things that was done under his name, he didn't know nothing about it because he was like the president or the prime minister, but no knowledge of what's going on and people killing folks and all that stuff.
So he was the prime minister of Kenya from 1963 to 1964. He then became the president of Kenya from 1964 to 1978.
Till he died to 19 when?
Oh yeah, he died president of Kenya. He died August 22nd, 1978. He was born in
right. Yeah.
He was born in 1894.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's some deep stuff. I mean, shoot, man. That's when you said burning spear, that's a powerful name. When Auntie said, or was it Uncle Pooper? Somebody was Auntie Uncle Pooper who said his name, his Jomo Kinshasa means burning spear. Like that's some potent stuff.
Yeah, right. I didn't never know what a Jomo meant.
That's like
burning spear. I know they used to call him burning spear, but I didn't know that that's what Jomo means. Very, very interesting.
You gotta be either righteous or a terrorist with the name Burning Spear. You know what I mean? But that's awesome. I didn't know that. Thanks, Grandma, for starting the show off, letting us know a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Let me see something here. He was small culture settlement. I was trying to see if he was royalty, like last week when we found out the
Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela was royalty.
Yeah, right.
It says he was born southwest Mount Kenya in the East African highlands. His father was a leader of a small Kikuyu agricultural settlement. It doesn't say anything about royalty, but I mean, I'm just trying to see if we can, like, because Auntie was like, a lot of these people came from some either strong leadership or something like that.
Right, yeah.
But that's really interesting. Let me see here. So I do know a little bit about the history of Kenya's name because it was named after, well, as it is today, it was named after Mount Kenya. I couldn't find like an original African name, but I did find some things that the local people called it at the time. And it was golly, you know what? I'm just gonna take some of these words and put it on the screen because
come on, butcher them, man. Let us.
Oh no, man! I'm not that person, man. I can't do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna make a fool of myself like that. So, but there are several names, and they all mean the same thing apparently, which is another interesting thing. And it's supposed to do spotted mountain peak, probably because the black rock spotted slopes. So there's two other words for it, but the word Kenya, if I got the right name for it, it's supposed to mean so the other two terms are, and forgive me, Kirinyaga and Kirin. It's Kirinyaga spelled two different ways, and they both mean mountain of whiteness, which was Mount Kenya at the time, or I guess it is still now. But the word Kenya, I think it means spotted one.
Spotted what?
Spotted one. Let me just double check.
And I'm still looking up some more stuff on Jomo Kenyatta.
Right, I'm sorry.
That he took for himself.
The word Kenya means striped one, which if you're talking about the mountain because of the snow and everything, that makes sense.
Okay. There was a word they used too. In fact, they named some streets after him called Harambe. What does that mean? And they said, what does it mean? I don't forgot.
That's actually the what is that? The national phrase or something in Kenya? It's the motto.
Harambe means something.
It means let us all pull together.
Yeah, let us all pull together. Okay.
And it's Swahili.
Okay.
That's interesting. And so let me see if I can pull the flag up here. All right, let me see if I can share. So how do I share this? Man, I'm trying to get my portrait on here. I'm not going to do that because I'm probably destroy the show. But the flag, the Kenyan flag is basically black on top, red in the middle, green at the bottom, separated by white border stripes, and a shield with 2 spears over it.
Okay.
If I could find that, I gotta figure out how to use this a little better. But anyway, so we started off strong, slowing down a little bit.
yeah, bro.
Technical difficulties. Well, what else do you know about Kenya, Grandpa?
There was something I was going to mention, but I got a short memory, span now. So I forgot.
Well, okay. Well, let me see here.
I recall in that documentary, Tom Mboya. He was in opposition to Jomo Kenyatta, and he was assassinated, I think, in 1969. But that was a time when Jomo was beginning to become senile. He couldn't remember nothing. He couldn't hardly walk, and all those different things were happening to him. So everything that was done, because there was a couple of assassinations done at that time, but he may not even know about it, because like I was saying, he was just rubber stamping everything because somebody else is running the business, Sometimes they can take you in a direction you don't want to go, but if you don't know what's going on.
So the Mau uprisings was from October 1952 to December 1959.
How long?
It was
69.
It started in 1952 October to December 1959.
Oh, okay.
So it was the beginning of the counterinsurgency operation. So they were fighting against Britain, and the members were primarily from the Kikuyu ethnic group, as they say, because I don't want to say tribe, but it says ethnic group, which is interesting because when you look at what the percentages, it says here from a study from 2019, it says that the leading ethnic group is the Kikuyu in Kenya, but there's I should just say nation because I don't want to say tribe, but there's the Luya, the Kalenjin, the Lao, the Kamba in Somalis, the Kisi, the Majakinda, the Meru. There's a lot of different there's a lot of people who live here. It's one of the largest countries in the world, actually.
I don't know if you're pronouncing them right, but I believe it, brother. It sounds good. You're convincing.
Hey, I'm trying, man. I'm just trying,
But I was reading that, a lot of the stuff, it said it was a big amalgamation of a lot of different people, which I guess we really should know because, the British was over there doing what British people do around the world, regrouping them, taking them over and redrawing lines or whatnot. But I didn't realize it was like a Swahili dominant land, right? So when you read that, what did you say? The Swahili? It was a Kenya as a Swahili word. Was that
Harambe? Okay, Swahili word. It's the.
I was shocked. I was kind of shocked when you said that, but now I understand that area was
Swahili.
I gotta pay for this.
What is that?
My bad. That's one of the articles I had up. It just all of a sudden decided to start playing a video. Apologies, babe. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh no, go ahead. That's it.
Oh, I ain't have anything. That was the random video that decided to play it out of nowhere, and I wasn't even touching my computer.
Yeah. I know I want to go to Kenya. Look, that's what I do know, because that's like where the Great Migration goes through there, right? Isn't that one of those areas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to see it from a distance, anyway.
Why you say from a distance?
I don't know, man, because you get caught in one of the birds, you'll be in trouble, buddy.
They have a lot of land for reservations for safaris, don't they?
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They attract a lot of people. They want to go on safaris and things.
But the great migration that happens once a year happens. I know Kenya is they say it's a prime location for that.
Well, it's the 48th largest country by total area.
48.
Yeah, it was a population of about 47.6 million. So it's a fairly large place. Like, you know, it's got a lot of stuff. I'm trying to see
what we talked about Tanzania. What is the size of Tanzania? It's bigger than Kenya, ain't it?
I have to look that up.
I wish somebody would, because I was surprised when I heard it, you know, that Tanzania, and I'm thinking Tanzania being a small place, but in land area.
It says 364,900 square miles.
That's Tanzania?
Yes, sir.
Or what's Kenya?
Says hands down, Tanzania is bigger than Kenya.
Yeah,
Kenya
it's 224,000. So Kenya, it seems like Tanzania is twice the size.
Yeah, I mean that was a shock to me. I'm thinking of Tanzania being a little place on the eastern coast of Africa. It ain't no little place.
Guess when Kenya gained its independence from the UK?
When? Last year?
No, on my birthday, December 12th, 1963.
Yeah.
I wasn't born 1963, my birthday's 12th.
But you know, like when we talk about all these African nations, right? Like think about this, like they're all like founded in the late 50s, early 60s, right? So they're talking about how corrupt these nations are, right? I think about the Farrakhan when he was like, Mr. Wallace. You know, you're talking about a nation
when Wallace called Nigeria one of the most corrupt countries in the world.
Yeah.
What could be more corrupt than this country? You know.
Yeah.
Wallace, he sat there. He didn't say no more about that. He sat there and listened. You know, he said, you know, he called on a country. He said Nigeria was just founded a few years ago. You know, and this country been here for 100 years. Now you calling it the most corrupt. You know.
Well, over 200 years, right at the time, in its American form. And,
right.
Like when you're speaking about corruption, you should hold your tongue. Like you shouldn't say nothing. But it just always makes me think about these countries, right? Like they like barely older than me, right? Today, like they're barely older than me. Right. And
most of those countries broke away from colonialism in the 60s, you know.
Yeah.
Because you take because I used to just sit there and read a lot of these different magazines, and like Lumumba and Julius Nyerere. Am I pronouncing it right?
Mm-hmm.
Close
Tanzania.
enough. Close enough.
Hey, Grandpa, your guess is as good as ours, man. We don't have.
I'm known to mess up somebody's name.
I think that was right though.
But all those countries were beginning to throw off the yokes of colonization. But before then, it was India was colonized, you know, because they didn't get their independence until 1947, I believe it was, you know. And
to answer your question, Grandpa, there's like 60 national parks and safaris in Kenya.
60?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. But
anyway, did you know that Jomo Kenyatta's son is the president of Kenya right now?
No,
He's been president since 2013.
Oh, no, I did not. Mm-hmm. Did they say which one of his sons?
Uhuru.
That
made it seem like he only had one when I was looking. Oh, no, that said it's his notable son. But he's been.
We may ask that question because I think that he had one of his sons was by this British woman. And I thought, because they had a picture of him, you know, standing next to his father, you know. So I'm thinking maybe he might be the president, you know.
No, this one, he's black.
I know. I mean, so this one is all of them black, you know.
Well, I mean, he looks like he's full black.
Oh, okay. Like I said, he was married 2 or 3 different times, and he had his whole family up there.
Yeah, now I'm trying to pull him up to see how many he had. It looks like they're listing 8.
He had 8?
That's what it's looking like.
Sounds about right.
And it looks like he had 4 wives.
4 wives? Okay, that's what I thought. It said 3 or 4 wives. I forgot. Well, can you tell me this? They call him MZ. MZE. What did that mean?
I just saw that. In Africa, oh, that just means he's an elder.
Oh, okay, yeah, elder. Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that because they were saying in Africa, old man means different than over here. You know, it's a down thing over here to the old man, but over in Africa, that's a word of honor. You know, when you call somebody old man over there, it means something different than it do over here. You know. You know?
I think it's an old. I shouldn't generalize it like this, but I remember someone saying an old African saying is when an old man dies, the library is lost.
No.
I like that.
I'm not sure what region.
What now?
I'm not sure what region. Oh, the saying is when an old man dies, the library is lost.
Oh yeah. Oh okay.
I'm not sure where it came from and what region it came from. I just heard it was African. Now, like just like any colloquialism, I mean anything can mean anything. But it's a nice saying.
Oh, it says when an old man dies, a library burns to the ground.
Okay. Now where's that from?
Kenya and Jomo was like Mandela when he became president of Kenya. He was telling the white population that's all in the past. You know, we're gonna go from here. You know, we ain't holding no grudges about what happened over the years. We're gonna take it from here and we're gonna move forward. You know, so that was sort of the same philosophy, I guess, that Mandela had, wasn't it?
I think a part of that has to do with the fact that people get worn down when they get older. Because I don't know. I go back to when George Bush Jr. said they tried to kill my father, and like that's when we started all these wars, and you know, for the past 20 so years. So that forgiveness thing is, I don't know. I think they should let forgiveness be for small stuff and not for genocide and stealing of wealth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so that saying comes from Mali.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see, now we know.
From Amadou Mpateba. He was an author.
Now, who was that?
Amadou Mpateba. He's I don't know if they call him Malayan, but he's a writer. He's the one who was known first to say that when an old man dies, a library burns to the ground.
Okay. Yeah, very interesting.
I feel like this has been the most educational show right here. It's been a lot of good research going. I like it. Keep it going.
I'm trying to keep facts on, but like normally Grandpa will just like he'll latch onto something. He's like, yeah, let's talk about this now.
But you know, I don't know whether it was a documentary or what, but I read something about the raid on Entebbe. You know, when the Israelis was captured there in Entebbe, but a lot of the people, just like my understanding of it, the people that when they came into the, could be wrong. This is what I understood. The people that came into the airport, it was Israelis, but they were black Israelis, and they also had planned to do some things. They were staying in Arabia. I mean, not Uganda, but they were staying in Kenya, and Kenya didn't know it. So when the thing took off, they left there, and Kenya never forgave Uganda for using that place, you know, for that raid on Entebbe, you know.
So exactly what's the raid on Entebbe? Because as soon as you said it, I Googled it, and one of the first questions on here says, how many died in the raid on Entebbe? And the number is 4.
One Israeli, right?
It just says the number 4. So only 4 people died in the raid.
But did they say how many?
It does say. And then
Israeli troops. How many Israeli troops?
Let's see. What then? The next question says, "Who died in Entebbe raid?" And it says Jonathan Netanyahu. So it did list just one person that says that 10 people were injured and 256 people survivors. So it's only one person, 1 or 4 people died on a raid?
Yeah, that you know who that was? That was Netanyahu's brother. You know, the prime minister, well, I don't know whether he's prime minister now, but the former prime minister of Israel, Netanyahu, his brother was the only one killed on that raid, on the Entebbe raid.
Netanyahu, yeah.
But I think it had something to do with the Israeli troops. He was white, but my understanding, most of those troops that went in there were black. You know, so of course, if you white, you standing out. You know, in a black raid. You know,
man, what's sad about what I've been learning about when we do these African country histories and things like that is it's not a whole lot of pre-colonial stuff, because it's been hard to find stuff pre-colonial, but like it's like history starts after colonization. Because like I found like a lot of stuff I find is, you know, it was a trade route for Arabia. This is for Kenya. Like by the 1st century AD, the Kenyan coast was frequented by Arab traders who, due to Kenya's proximity to the Arabian Peninsula, established Arab and Persian colonies there. The Bantu people, the Moloch people, also moved to the region during the 1st millennia AD and settled inland. Like just one little paragraph about that, and then like multiple paragraphs about European colonization and things of that nature. Like it's sad that like we can't find like real, like we have to like dig to find real actual history of pre-colonial Kenya.
Yeah, you probably got to go over there and listen to their scholars. So the issue is, you know, we let white people tell the story, and then we only read their stuff and their sources and act like they're the only ones that can tell a legit story. There's African scholars been writing and talking about this. We just don't talk about them. And of course, the algorithm, when you Google, is not picking that information up, because that's not a valid source. That's not vetted through white people. And unfortunately, a lot of our people, that's how they think and see the world, right? If it didn't come from them, then you know, you can't trust that, man. You know, them Africans don't like us anyway, so they're not gonna tell us the truth. We got to stop that and just really bridge the gap and act like the scholars have been all through the continent, you know, telling the truth. They've been telling it for hundreds of years. We just ain't been listening.
Well, I agree with that.
To, something we talked about, and I continuously talk about, and that the Spanish Inquisition, and I had a little bit about the Spanish Inquisition in high school, but it never dawned on me when they speak about Jewish people or Moors, you seem to get the idea that there's somebody else. Well, that Spanish Inquisition was killing the black people, because you take into what we were talking about, the Alhambra, you know, they were black people. So when Spain was getting rid of people out of there, they were getting rid of black people. Well, they had been there, 600 years?
Every time Grandpa brings up the Moors, it always makes me think. The Robin Hood movies are are probably the easiest ways to dive into like trying to learn about what that time period was, because it was a black man who was there's always a black man in those Robin Hood movies, and he's always a Moor, and he's basically breaking down, like the most recent one, the version of it was when Jamie Foxx was working with Robin Hood in that recent Robin Hood movie that came out a couple years ago. He was a Moor, and they actually went more into the Spanish Inquisition during that time, and they talked, and it was basically everyone who was a Muslim was black in that movie, right? And Jamie Foxx's character is talking about how he basically taught them how to shoot bows and arrows and showing them how to use weapons, because like they're more advanced. And it reminds me when I told you guys about the Morgan Freeman's character when he was in the older Robin Hood's movie with my man's from Dances with Wolves. And he was just like, me brought the telescope. He was like, how did your people ever take over the world? Because they never seen what a telescope was. They didn't understand how it worked. And it's just, like, I'm telling you, find a Robin Hood movie. Because like, each one of them has like a little nugget. They drop a little gem about what was happening during the Spanish Inquisition. Because it really is, when they bring up that history, they talk about Muslims and they talk about like Islam and things of that nature. But it really was just getting black people out of Europe. Because whenever you see them in the movies, it's not they don't depict them as like more lighter skinned or how Middle Eastern, I shouldn't say Middle Eastern people, but is it better to say Mediterranean or Arabian, Persian, Arabian?
Persian, yeah, I think they like to call
people. I hope
Persian.
that's the correct way. I'm not trying to offend anybody from that, but they don't show those people. They show black people. They always show black people and who they're fighting, and that's what it was. And they always showed them as technically, not shouldn't say technologically, but an advanced people. Like they knew what they were doing. Like this was before. Like people think about when they look at religion, they look at it as a sense of lack of knowledge. But way back then, science and religion was going hand in hand. Like you were discovering what the Lord had made, as opposed to it just being a wonder, and you just because God made it that way. Like no, we learning what this was about.
Yeah, when you follow the Moors and even Islam in general, right? Because they is everywhere else. Like the religion is one thing, right? It's intertwined with science, knowledge, there's society, and everything. It's here you talk that separate us in a church and state, and then they just start making up shit. But that's another conversation.
Yeah. But I mean, just to think about. Like for example, in non-monotheistic, so in religions where there's more than one God, like who have pantheons, each divinity has a job. Like there's a god of carpentry, there is a god of forgery. Like there's a divinity for creation, for making things with your hands. Like people learn. Like they put labels on things they did day to day. There was a god of like home. Like like home care, like fixing shit in your house and stuff, things of that nature. Sorry for cussing, but it's to the idea that having a faith also means that you're just a brain dead sheep follower. That's very modern because up until the past couple hundred years, you were taught to learn. You were taught to try to understand the universe and the world around you. And I believe we got to do an episode on this because it was Polar Nights is back.
Hey,
what's good, Polar Nights? What's good, Grandpa? This is your was it Sweden?
Norwegian?
Was it Norway?
Norway.
This is our viewer from over there, and was it Norway or Sweden? I'm sure Polar Nights.
I think it was Norway.
Norway. What?
Norway.
Norway.
Polar Nights came back. Shout out to Polar Nights. That was a good episode.
Pop's not following, Joshua.
Polar Nights was the Norwegian. Polar Nights was the Norwegian gentleman who watches our show and was commenting a few weeks back. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, he was from Norway.
Yes.
He was married to somebody
in Eritrea.
Yeah, on the east coast of Africa.
Yeah,
from Eritrea, I believe.
Hey, he remembered that.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he made he had come conversation. He come in and spoke.
Polar Nights is live.
Bless you.
Thank you.
It's good to see repeat customers that come on the show. but yeah, I mean this. Oh, damn, I lost my train of thought. But what was I? I was talking about the economy between religion and not having intelligence. But yeah, that's a very new thing. And we're gonna do an episode. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna do an episode on that because it was a sultan when he came into power who basically mandated that science and religion were separate, and then if you learn math and science, if you were like a higher up, you were committing like a crime against the empire, and you were slain. Like that became that was the seed. I think is when all this started really going downhill, and it made it seem like if you can have faith, but you couldn't try to look too deep behind the curtain, and that's where I think the problem is. I don't think having a belief is inherently wrong. I think
it's irrelevant, actually.
I think having a belief without having context of trying to understand something is wrong.
Yeah.
And I think that's where all these problems came in.
But that's why the religion of the past used to meld science along with the faith, right? Mm-hmm. Like because it was steeped in understanding. And as long as you understood, like I said, I don't really think your belief matters, right? But I love the fact that you had understanding of the science and how the world works, how relationships work, how people interact, like, and really getting a thorough grasp of that, rather than just saying, I'm going to heaven because I believe in God, so I can do anything that I want to do, which is how this is this is how they think, right?
Even if I backslide.
Right. I remember I went to an all-white male Catholic school, right? I went to Catholic Central. I remember the white boys used to tell me, Freddie, why are you so serious about this religion? Like, it doesn't really matter. All you do is just on your deathbed, you just repent and you go to heaven. It doesn't matter what you do. Like, literally, this is what the high schoolers told me. And obviously they got that from somewhere. And that's a long-standing tradition in the community. So I don't know. It just never really sat well with me.
But that's how a lot
Something else didn't take. I guess I don't know whether it was taking courage for him to say what he said, or he didn't know what he was saying. Because when he was going to Catholic Central, and was it catechism or whatever they teach, and they were talking about Jesus, and I think Freddie said, "Why come he got to be white? Why come he ain't black?" And I say, but he didn't know the depth of I don't think they carried that argument too much any further, than that. You remember that?
Yeah, well, I mean, because I've always been questioning.
You asked that question, you're the only black kid in the all white school. You talking about how come Jesus can't be black?
Yeah, that's
why
a good question. Especially when he was black.
Yeah, right. I'm just saying.
I didn't have the knowledge base.
Because the opposition might be against you.
Yeah, ain't no might.
So I'm just giving you credit that you had a lot of guts. I wouldn't have said
or stupidity, one of them.
You only went in the class and you come with that now.
But I mean, we gotta keep challenging everything that they stand for, really, because everything they stand for is the antithesis of us, or at least it has been the last.
Polar Knights is dropping some gems over here.
Yeah, Snowblind just looking at him. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
I've never heard Snowblind before. That's new for me.
Yeah, that's a new term for me too. But I mean, it was just used as a tool of domination. Like I forgot who said it, right? The white man came to Africa, everybody bowed their heads and prayed. And by the time you open your eyes, the black man had the Bible, the white man had all the land.
And all the land, man.
Oh, child.
Yeah, I mean,
that's nasty.
Christians don't like to hear that, but that's just factually what basically happened. Like they sold you on a whole different religion and then stole everything.
In that documentary about Kenya, there was a statement made that England would never give up the colonization of Kenya. In other words, it was going to always be a colony of the British government,
Empire.
There you go. Thank you.
Tribe.
Yeah, but
there we go.
Yeah, all right.
If it ain't nothing wrong with tribe, then they shouldn't feel offended.
I just want y'all to see something. I've only had this much. And I'm just slowing. I'm just like, hey man, this is something. This will have you sitting on the back porch just looking at the sunset.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, like, hey, you might want to.
I'm gonna slow down. I'm done. I'm done drinking this. That's why I got my water right here. I gotta reinvigorate.
That's a good call.
But it was definitely a good beer. But Polar Knights, man, we gotta get Polar Knights on the show. We gotta
question everything.
We gotta get international guests on the show.
We expanded.
But no, I mean we that tells you how much information we actually got on Kenya today, because we weren't able to talk about the whole time about Kenya. The other places we were, because it's not as much information as I thought it was. I thought Kenya would have more information that you can find more readily available, but a lot of it is just the same stuff we've been talking about, colonialism. Like before, some places though you could find their pre-colonial name, but I couldn't find it for Kenya, aside from what the locals were calling the area, which I guess is their pre-colonial name, but then they took that and made that Kenya.
But what's interesting, because as they say, the Africans were nomadic people, right? So a lot of that interior of the state, there was just a lot of movement around. But you got your West African empires, you got your Eastern empires, and we got a little bit of deeper knowledge about Southern Africa. But like, I don't know, like in the middle.
I want to interject that because why are we calling people who are on the continent of Africa nomadic, but we call people who aren't side of it conquerors? Because that's just another form of nomadacy. Like you're traveling around and taking over the lands.
I mean, but I think the intention is different. Nomadic means that you don't feel the need to plant any roots, and you've made the decision to just roam.
But that's
conquerors mean but they nomads are just living their lives. They're not trying to take over anybody else.
Not necessarily conquerors.
They're not conquering. They don't have to.
They were empires in Africa. They were the what was it? Mansa Musa.
Sure, but you have to.
Right, but that's West Africa
and a conqueror. A nomad is not trying to conquer. It's not necessarily. They're not. What's the word?
But
interchangeable. They're not interchangeable. Whereas conquerors are nomadic.
Vikings were nomadic.
Conquerors are nomadic, but nomads don't have to be conquerors or Vikings.
Right.
But Vikings were nomadic. They were
violent too.
But nomads were not conquerors. Nomads were not Vikings. Nomads are nomads. It's a difference.
A wanderer.
They're wandering.
I just feel like they moved around. I don't know. I don't know a lot of deep, rich history about Central. I know it's got to be there, right? But I think the dearth in our understanding is not actually listening to the scholars from that area. Because I'm pretty sure we go over there. We say we go to Kenya and sit down, and they'll give you their long, deep, rich history. Like you can definitely get it, but you got to get it from somebody that's over there.
The definition of nomad: a member of a people having no permanent abode, who travel from place to place to find fresh pasture for their livestock.
Well, on the trade routes throughout Africa, and there were, I guess they would call them nomadic people, but they'd be gone from 2, 3, 4 years, and then come back, to their place of birth or whatever, So I'm assuming you call them nomadic because they travel all the time, but they didn't have no permanent. I don't know what happened when you got back home.
There has to be, people always in the area. So there's a story there.
There's something there. I feel like you said, there's a story there. There's something here that I can't quite piece together. Like I need to find a book that really does dive deep into the history of the continent. Like gives you a good idea of what's going on thousands of years of colonialism.
Sheikh Anta Diop wrote a book called Pre-Colonial Africa. But I don't know if it deals with, and I haven't gotten around, but I got it on the shelves. I just haven't read it yet. Maybe I need to start reading some of that, and I might be of more service to this discussion.
Yeah, because I'm sitting here, I'm learning more. The more I'm understanding and trying to read about this stuff, the more I'm learning that it really was. Hey, man. Oh, I should say really was. Based on what I'm reading, it's just like, man, y'all were chilling, and then people rolled up on y'all, and now it's pre-colonial history. What do you think about that, Grandpa? Grandpa, you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I'm trying to think what I think about what.
What we're talking about, the whole conversation.
Well, no comment.
Yeah, all the comment.
Yeah. Let's see what is covered.
Polar Dice just said the only difference is y'all are more tan than me. You could dunk the ball better. Wow.
I have never dunked.
Me either.
Okay, a 9-foot rim. I'm gonna count that.
Well, there was a time that I could touch the bottom up part of the rim. I was never got to dunk. That's been on the bucket list though. Maybe I'll spend some time and lose like 40.
Ship the sail, buddy.
No, man, I can let me see if I can lose 40 pounds and work on my leg strength. Get that one dunk and call of the day. Dang, Auntie didn't even have her normal like pep talk. Like fitness is not a game. She's like, but your dreams are.
yeah. This kind of bad
shit. She's like, you know what? Maybe you could get to your muscle Twitch Muscle dreams if you get some of these butter cookie protein powder that I'm about to
That we make. Putting it on deck.
I want to see those butter cookie proteins for this kind of games.
That would be too doggone funny. And it's funny because I told one of my girlfriends about it because she's about my complexion. So she sent me a text yesterday or 2 days ago with a picture of some butter cookies and said, "Hey, here we are at the store." That's when we coming back, y'all. What you reading, babe?
Pre-colonial Africa. I was just trying to see like what did he discuss? So of course it's a lot of names that I don't know nothing about. So it's kind of hard to put it on the map.
What are we doing? Geography. What are we doing next week? Sierra Leone? Is that the next place?
I think we did say Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone?
Yes, sir. Yeah. I got to get myself a note to remember to wear my shirt.
After Sierra Leone, then we want to go to Haiti.
That's not Africa, Grandpa.
Pop said we did Africa for a month and a half. If he feel like doing Haiti, he can do Haiti.
Hey, we know Haiti. I know Haiti. We can talk about
I know Haiti. I'm just saying I'm trying to keep it in the
what I want to know about Haiti, why it was Simone Bolivar, that's it. I guess I'm pronouncing it right. Why was he so important in that Haitian uprising of South America?
You know what? Fine.
Oh, you're talking about
we're going off the rails. So Sierra Leone and then Haiti, apparently. So let's
we go to Sierra Leone because I know very little about that.
Wait, you're talking about the former president of Bolivia?
Yeah, but he had something to do with that whole Haitian uprising and thing, didn't he?
I'm not familiar. That would be new for me.
But I know he's worshipped over there. I mean, of his contributions to Haiti, you know. So I'm just curious, you know.
Really?
Well, we'll have to cover that. You know, at this point, it's just Grandpa's the boat captain. I just steer the ship.
yeah.
So, what was it? So let's do our final thoughts. It's 2:58. The time just ran away from me. I thought we were only talking for like 20 minutes.
Let's see how much you have in that glass, nephew. How much?
Oh, I have quite a bit in this glass. I've told you I was only drinking water.
That's the slowest beer you've ever drunk on this show.
No, man, I gotta go back to work. Like I'm trying to make sure I'm good.
You go through whiskey faster than that.
Because whiskey, so it's simple, man. Like this is like a heavy. It's heavy. Like I have I'm in a good space right now. I can work, I can type, but I'm not going to be drinking this. Like when I get off work, I'll finish this glass, but I'm not about to be over here trying to be loose as loose off the goose. But let's do our final thoughts today. What do you got, Grandpa?
Final thought. My final thought was I enjoyed the conversation about Kenya because we sort of went in depth, and I like what I heard. That's my final thought.
All right. So, okay. What about you, Auntie?
My final thought is I agree with Pops. This has been a great one. I feel like this has been one of the more educational ones because we all pulled together to inform and educate each other and our watchers. All the watchers, all of them, all 7 of them.
All 1 of them.
But my thought with it also, as we were researching it, it honestly makes me sad that the people that we were researching today and talking about today are not common knowledge here, even amongst us as Black folks. And I feel like we definitely need to do better with that. And it makes me, and it is so difficult because, you know, the continent is so large. There's so many countries, there's so many people to learn about. And it's just a reminder of how important it is to start with our children early. Because if we can learn about all these folks here in America, then we should also be pushing for knowing about the folks on our continent. And if nothing else, start with our own. So that's why I'm excited about Sierra Leone next week, because everyone on here, sans Pops, is from Sierra Leone. You know, and this gives us an opportunity, especially you, nephew, to start passing stuff on to CC early. Because you know that that's part of his heritage. You know, my children are so old that they're resistant to everything we try to teach them new. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to try. So I'm excited, and it's just a reminder of how important Black history is, African history is, because we did not start with slavery. Slavery is what you say, baby. It was interrupted history, Black history. So that's it. I'm done.
Slavery isn't Black history; it's interrupted Black history.
Come on.
But yeah, so I don't know. My thoughts is Pops got me wondering who the Simon Bolivar is. Like I'm over here googling this guy now, thinking about Haiti. That we're gonna do in 2 weeks, I guess, after we do Sierra Leone, and then so the executive producer can freak out over the content change. Yeah, but right, you can't be that old. You look 30ish. Hey,
thank you, Paula Nice. Don't be flirting with me, my husband. We have a 22-year-old son. We've been married for 20 years. But thank you. I got carded today, and I was like, thank you.
That's how Polar Nice got his Eritrean wife. He know what to say.
Hey, don't be using that smooth Norwegian game over here, man.
He was like, hey, girl, I got an island. Only 300. There's only 299 people on it. You want to be 300?
You be number 300.
It's always a good time when Polar Nights comes. I don't even know what Polar Nights is, but it's always a good time.
It's always a good time. Yeah.
Now, this was my final thought.
This was a good discussion, though.
My final thought is this has been a good episode. My final thought is I really, really got to spend more time trying to dig deeper, and for these history facts, because it's hard to find anything before colonialism. But that just goes to show that's a theme. So I've learned that it's not just going to be easy. You got to really find some books. I was lucky. The first couple places I was lucky because I had read some books already, so I knew. But
and we did the big, more popular spots too.
Yeah, but looking through the internet to find some facts, some quick facts, or whatever, it's not easy. It's not an easy task like other places are. Also, what's this beer called? So happens it's Tuesday. You want to drink this on the weekend when you get nothing to do.
Don't consume that on a Tuesday.
Yeah, that's my final thought. This is not a weekday beer. It's just gonna be sitting here on my desk until it's time to clock out.
And that's saying a lot for nephew.
I mean,
and it's gonna be right there, and it's gonna be ready for you too.
Normally, I can sit here and just chill with something, and like Auntie said, I can drink whiskey and be fine. But this is it's rich. It's weird to say about a beer. It's rich.
Yeah.
So. I'll say this. Grandpa will probably give this a 1.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
the beer we drinking right now that we love, Pops hates it.
Oh
yeah. I'm pretty sure it's a dad 1.
Oh yeah. He's like, this is beer?
Yeah. This more like cognac though.
Oh, you know what? This is my last part of my final thought. Then we get into the show. When I was driving Grandpa around Michigan State to find a parking spot, we're listening to Big Sean, and he got flustered. He was like, "This is what is this is music."
This is trash.
Only reason I don't care too much about rapping is because I can't hear. I don't know what the words is. My hearing. So all I hear is da 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 da. But there's a lot of meaning to the words. But if you can understand what they're saying, it's like garbage, then, right?
Yeah.
Or you hear somebody rapping, but you don't know what they're saying. See? John's up there listening, he enjoying it, but I don't understand. My hearing won't allow me to understand nothing he's saying,
Well, Pops, in your defense, a lot of the crap we hear now, it sounds like dun. So
that's what it sounds like to me too, man.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to us too. Some folks I'm still rocking with, but a lot of them are dun. So they actually, Pops, they actually have a category. No, it's not you. They actually have a category of rap called mumble rap. Like they literally mumble when they rap. So you can barely understand it anyway. So you're fine. It's not you.
It's not you.
I thought Grandpa was going to try to whoop me or something. He was like,
"Hey, all he wanted, if he wanted to satisfy, all he had to do was play me a little Gladys Knight and the Pips, I'm happy. This rapping, I can't understand what they're saying. I can't get into it because you don't know what they're talking about."
I love it. Polar Nights, don't you play that Cardi B for your wife anymore.
Right.
Save your marriage. Save your marriage.
That is funny.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, goodness. All right, everybody. Well, we'll see you next week. We're doing Sierra Leone. You know what? The only thing I really know about Sierra Leone is when I saw Blood Diamonds, the movie, years ago. So I'm not sure if that's even accurate, but
Oh, that was Sierra Leone with
Yeah.
the blood diamonds.
mhm.
When they found that diamond and they were trying to get it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that story is true, but a lot of the diamond mines are there.
In Sierra Leone.
Exploitation is real. But here we go, colonialism, right? Right. There's
Sierra Leone.
What you got, Chris?
Sierra Leone, is that on? That's on the no, it isn't. It's on the west side of Africa, ain't it?
Uh-huh.
Well, so that fits right in then with Angola, because Angola a lot of diamond mines. So that area there must be rich in diamonds, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sierra Leone, okay, Angola. Because they
Yeah,
got
they
what is the name of these people? The Bears of
The Bears?
diamonds. You can't you can't sell a diamond. That's, you know, they got their approval.
Yeah, so it's not actually the Bears. That's
Hold
the name of the
on.
company.
Save it for the show because we
Okay.
can't drop next week's information. So
we'll wait
Uncle
for next
Bluebear
week.
knows what he's talking about. He gonna lead off the show next week.
Yeah,
All right, we'll see
y'all.
y'all. We'll see y'all.
All right.
See you, Polar Nights.
See you, fam.
Peace.
Peace.